Leos, this is your weekly reading. I'm back with doing the weekly readings, so hope you guys didn't miss me too much, or maybe you didn't even notice. But anyways, hope you guys are happy to be here as I am. We're gonna go over each and every aspect of your life, like health, career, work, finances, and love, romance, dating, or relationships. And usually I start off with breaking down what's going on in the sky, so the astro energies, but I'm going to post that as a separate video, which you may have already seen by the time I post this video. So I'm going to post that one before I post all the signs, okay? And as a replacement, I'm going to include a soul message for your weeklies, but I'm trying it out for this week, so let me know if you guys like that, and then I'll include that for your future weekly readings. I think it's like a nice little transition into your reading to kind of set the vibe, the mood, and get you thinking about things. Okay? All right, and then keep in mind that I'll have the link to the extended reading below in the description box if you're interested afterwards as a part 2 and a continuation. And as always, I appreciate the love and support, so thank you so much. All right, so my dear Leos, what is your soul message for this week? Dun, dun, dun. Dramatic sounds. So it's the initiation, rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. And if I'm correct, I think Virgo also got this message. So if you're dealing with a Virgo, maybe you have Virgo in your chart, maybe check out that reading as well. Rite of passage, you are going somewhere sacred. Beautiful. So what's going on with you this week? Like maybe there's something that you're starting, that you're doing, or you just feel like you're kind of being put on this different path, different journey, and it's something only you can do, or only it's only meant for you and no one else will maybe understand it. So this could be a very spiritual week as well. Okay, or maybe you're going on some special trip or something like that. Okay. All right. So let's get started. When it comes to your health for this week, funny enough, we got Serenity, which is like the Hermit in the regular deck, which is Virgo energy. So maybe you have Virgo somewhere in your chart. But I feel like, again, this week is very spiritual for you. You could also be, working on, taking care of your body, going through some healing process of detoxing, releasing, letting go, which you could be physically doing as like maybe a diet, a cleanse, or seeing a doctor, making a doctor's appointment. But I feel like this is very spiritual. So you're doing some spiritual work, or maybe you're meditating, you're kind of releasing, letting go of trauma, and paying attention to your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul, and doing some kind of deep shadow work possibly, or like trying to restore your inner light and get truly connected with yourself by letting go of all the stuff, all the fluff that doesn't really matter. So yeah, you could be focusing on your health, but I think in kind of like a spiritual way, actually, that is in the end gonna make you feel so much better, right? Because yeah, you could do all the best diets, cleanses, exercises, and all that stuff, but if your heart, your soul, your mind isn't right, nothing else is gonna work, right? So I think you're focusing more your attention on like your internal world, your inside, your spirit, which is like at the end of the day probably the most important task you can do. So you're going through some healing, releasing, letting go, finding your inner light, your inner truth. Whether it's meditating, seeking counseling, therapy, doing your own kind of meditations, mantras, affirmations, or just kind of like really going deep with yourself. Okay? All right. And then when it comes to your work, school, career, and finances for this week, it does look like you may have to adjust or do some changes, or there could be some changes taking place to your work, your job, your schoolwork, business, negotiations. Something is changing. You're having to make some adjustments. You may realize that you may have maybe overspent or something may have costed a little bit more than you expected. So it's kind of like, it feels like a little bit of a hit. Or maybe you're doing taxes possibly this week, and so you're kind of like, that hurts, kind of hurts your heart and soul every time you have to pay taxes. And especially if you're like self-employed or you have a business, because it all kind of comes at once, or you do like estimated taxes or something like that. So it feels like you're going through some changes, and you may be feeling kind of like, all your resources are being depleted, or something is costing a lot more than you thought, or you overspent, or right now you're having to kind of maybe be a little more frugal or be a little bit smarter with your money, because you may have something have costed more, you may have lost some money, or you may be a little bit not have as much cushion as you thought, at least for this week. Okay. All right. And be careful, because you may lose something, or you may accidentally like misplace something that's important or of value, like, you know, like keys, credit cards, IDs, or something like that. So just be extra careful of like your values and stuff like that, and don't do anything too risky, or like, you know, I'm sure, you know, just be extra careful with like your personal belongings, your resources, anything that's valuable. Okay. And then when it comes to your love, romance, dating, or relationships, on your side here, you guys got the King of Crystals, Five of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. So some of you may have Earth in your chart, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or maybe Water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Then on this other side, for this other person, this can be the past, present, or future situation, or all three, all of the above. We got the Two of Crystals, Temperance, and the Page of Crystals. So as far as who you could be dealing with, it could definitely be a Sagittarius or Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. It doesn't have to be though. It could be any sign, like I always say to you guys. It could just be the energy this person is embodying, playing out, or maybe be like a mixed match of one of those. Okay, so what's going on here? I feel like this week, it's like having a good attitude towards a situation or something that's going on here makes all the difference. And I feel like it's this other person. Whereas like if it was any other scenario, you probably would be kind of really annoyed or pissed or something like that. But because they're approaching you or taking whatever's going on right now with like kind of like a good attitude, kind of being positive and trying their best, you kind of show them grace, or you're like, oh, okay, you know what? Like at least they like are trying, at least they're having a good attitude. They're not, they're doing their part. And so, you know what? Let me like not be too hard on them. Let me give them a little bit of grace. At least they're trying. Excuse me. And so you may be kind of like holding this person's hand through some uncertainty that they're going through. Like maybe this person is like juggling 2 jobs, or they're trying to like do, you know, school and a job, or they're trying to get their life together maybe, and they've been kind of like going back and forth or a little bit in limbo. So you've been kind of like, you know, showing up and supporting them while they kind of figure their life out, because you could be the one that's like, you might be the more responsible one, or you might be the more well-off financially, and you kind of are the person who can like hold it down and support both of you. Or you're someone who like, you have a set career, you have a set business, and you kind of have everything figured out. Okay, whereas this person, maybe they need a little help, or they're not there yet. But it's not like you look down on them or anything like that. They're just not there yet, but they have potential. And so you've had to kind of like step in and support them or help them while they're still figuring it all out. And sometimes yeah, you do have moments, and you may have moments where you feel kind of frustrated. You're like, oh, like this is kind of annoying, or I feel like they should already have their act together, or like how long am I gonna have to hold their hand, or like push them, encourage them. But you sometimes keep those thoughts to yourself, because like you see that they're trying, and you don't want to like create any more problems, friction, or make them feel bad maybe about themselves, or like you're judging them. And so I really feel like this person's trying to keep a good attitude. They're being positive. They're trying to learn. Maybe they're in school right now and they're trying to learn so they can get a better job, or get a better position, or make more money. And so you see that at least they're trying, even though they're still kind of in the struggle. And I feel like this person is maybe gonna like make it up to you somehow, or they may show you some kind of proof, or show you that like they are making progress, or maybe kind of like apologize to you, or like, oh, you know, I know all this time you've been like helping with the bills, or treating me, or helping me, like I brought you this, or I wanted to give you this gift, or like let me treat you, like let me pay this time. And you know, like that paycheck means a lot more for them, because maybe they have less, they don't make as much as you. And so you appreciate, you're like, you know what, okay, this person's trying, like I don't want to be too hard on them, and like I see that they're coming from a good place. And I feel like your love for this person is like is growing, or like you really love this person. You know that you guys have potential to have a great relationship, family, or whatever, and maybe you guys are already in a serious relationship. But you see that like they mean well. And yes, they may not be on the same level or whatever as you, but the love that you feel, that you share for each other is like way more important and matters a lot more. And I do feel like they are like trying to make it up to you, or they will try to make it up to you, or like apologize and like do their part as much as they can. Okay. And in this day and age, sometimes it's a little bit tricky, right? Because like a lot of times now, like women are making more money than men, and so that can make men feel a little bit weird, or like it kind of creates this like weird dynamic at times where like we have to remember like it's not about that, it's about like our connection and love and all that other stuff like shouldn't really matter as much. And but anyways, going off on a tangent, let's continue on an extended. Link will be below. We're going to where this person's energy is at, what are they thinking, what are they feeling when it comes to you, what they don't want you to know that maybe you should know, and what their next action move will be towards you, and then followed up with your advice at the end. Okay, so we'll continue this on an extended. Link will be below. I'll see you guys there, and I'll see you for your next reading. All right, take care. Bye.